Hello Imba users, this is the first video that I'm making on my YouTube channel to teach people how to use Imba. I am a learner myself. I have only been developing interactive web applications for about 2 years, and that's since I started learning Imba. Imba is my first programming language per se. I did work with HTML and CSS for over 5 years before that. So I have a strong knowledge of HTML and CSS, but Imba is my first dynamic language. I kind of skipped JavaScript. I learned JavaScript simultaneously with learning Imba, and the Imba team is releasing Imba 2 pretty soon. And I want to start making videos to teach people how to do some of the basic stuff. I am a beginner myself, so I will be starting with the very basics of Imba. Okay, so how do we create our first Imba project? We have this GitHub repository. If you go to github.com/imba/template, it will take you here. Now we want to clone this repository onto a local directory. So here I have made a folder called Imba, and in there we're going to create our first project. So I open a terminal. You can find your terminal in your Spotlight if you're using a Mac. And I'm going to change directory, CD, which stands for change directory. And then I'm going to type Imba, which is my first project at the root level of my user. So my user is Eric, and my first directory here is Imba. / just leave it at that. Let's change directory into Imba. Now I'm going to find the Git Clone Link. So here's the clone link. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to type Git Clone. I'm going to paste the link, space, and then you can name it whatever you want the directory to be called. So let's call it Hello World. And as you can see, we have a new directory here. I'm going to change directory into Hello World. So now I am going from Imba to Hello World. And one of the first things I like to do is to update the Imba packages. So I'm just going to do yarn add Imba. I'm going to do the pre-release version, which is Imba 2. And I'm going to do the same for Imba rollup. And I'm going to do pre as well. Okay. Now I'm going to open this directory in VS Code. Or how about we just drop it in our VS Code icon right here. Okay, we have our project. If I go to the package.json, I see that I am in the alpha version of Imba and the alpha version of Imba rollup, which is great. And we're going to use this start command to create a local server. One thing I forgot to do is to do just run yarn, or if you're doing npm, just do npm install. Let's do that one. And it's going to make sure we have all our dependencies installed. Okay. And we can do npm start or yarn start. And let's see what happens. Okay, now we have a local server of our application, our Imba app, right here. And I'm going to command click on that, and it's going to open here on my right side. So now let's go over to our source code. You can click Imba, and here we go. Here's our application. I can click on here, and it increments the count, but obviously this does not look like a button. So let's go to our app button and see what is going on. It's not inheriting as it should be. That could be a bug. Let's see how this looks. Okay. I'm not sure where that is broken, but I'm sure that will be fixed before released. All right. Now every time I click this button, you can see Imba is up and running. Now, if you would like to put this on the web, all you have to do is in the terminal, you do npm build npm run build, and it's going to compile the Imba app into HTML and JavaScript, and it's going to be in your public folder. I guess this HTML is declared by you initially, and then Imba is going to be compiled into JavaScript, which is going to get imported right into this HTML. And it's probably good practice to have this. We'll be fixing this in the template to have a full boilerplate here. All right, so as you can see, we're loading the Imba JavaScript, and then we're writing in here our custom app root component, which comes from our tag root, our app root tag. Got tongue twisted there. All right, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.